Welcome to another episode of Neon Radio. I'm Reece.
And I'm Dan.
And this week we're doing Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Harry begins year 6 of Hogwarts and finds an old potion book formerly owned by the Half-Blood Prince.
Meanwhile, Dumbledore teaches Harry about Voldemort's dark past.
This is a pretty good Harry Potter movie. Like, I would say this is nearing the top of the bunch for me.
It is. I found it very hard to rate this one.
Yeah.
The reason being is the last two have been so good, and this is good, and it's hard to compare all the last three together.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the fact he's got the Voldemort one.
Reece bought them, not me.
To begin the start of it, he was the Dark Lord of the Harry Potter series. I'll tell you that.
Everyone, Reece bought these, not me.
Oh wow, calm down. You're a geek as well. These are yours. Going into this film, the main theme is trust. Everything is about trust with this film.
Sure
Trust
is.
Dumbledore.
Yep.
Trust Harry. Trust in Snape and the plans that are ahead.
Yep.
And to trust one another. Like, there's moments in this movie where the characters are like, we've got a plan. And one of the other characters are like, nah, you got to follow what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Trust what I'm doing.
Yep.
And that's the whole movie. The whole movie, even moving on to the end of it, the whole movie is about trust.
It's a very, very sad ending in this movie.
Yeah, it is the Empire Strikes Back
Yes, it is.
of Potter films.
It is. Yeah, when I was watching this, obviously not Empire Strikes Back related,
Yeah.
I was guessing Snape's character all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
It's funny to see the allegiance that Snape is in. Like, you're like, where is he? Is he good? Is he bad? And I think both sides want Snape so much. He's so powerful. But this movie tackles a lot of different character ideas through the events that occur. Things like the idea of what the movie's called, the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought, because I haven't seen the last two, right? So I'm going into this with fresh eyes. I haven't read the books. But I always thought Harry was a half-blood prince. But then, you find out later on it's someone else.
Yeah. And that someone else is a half-blood prince. You got to also understand that a lot of this film is learning about Voldemort's past, Tom Riddle. And
Yes.
Tom Riddle is also, in a way, kind of
Half-blood
a
prince.
half-blood prince. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the movie is, yet again, it's outdoing itself, each of these films. Each one thematically grows into something more focused.
Yep.
And I think that's because of J.K. Rowling as a writer. She becomes more focused as a writer at this point.
Yep. Sure is.
But even going off topic a little bit, the romance aspects of this film.
I was going to say, maybe we could add a love as a theme as well. Because the love potion does come into it a fair bit.
Really does.
And one thing that kills me, if you listen to our podcast, you'll know that they cut out a big chunk of this movie that was in the book.
Chunk, yeah.
And you learn more about Voldemort and a use of a love potion.
That's true, yeah. The whole idea behind young love in this movie specifically, and just, I mean, you're right. Love is a theme. I never thought of that.
Yeah, it is.
Well
Yeah.
played.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that the movie gets away from the whole frisky aspect from the goblet. It still has it.
Yeah.
But
It does,
just
it
not,
does.
but not to the point where it's I don't
much.
think it's to the point where it's goblet still.
It's more psychotic.
It's more, yeah, you're right. It goes nuts. But it does also have these really wholesome moments in the film.
Yes.
Where the characters are learning who they really wish to be with as partners within the movie.
Yeah.
It really does bring it into this world of this is what people really are like.
Yep.
And that shows in the acting. The
does.
acting has improved vastly.
Yeah, I can just say that they've all matured.
Yeah.
And it's so cool seeing them again growing up into being well-established actors.
Every movie they grow. And even though this is Daniel Radcliffe's, he hates this movie, how he acted in this movie.
Interesting fact.
But I think he says that it's because he was pretty much suffering from alcoholism at the time. And I think that maybe that's the reason why it's bad memories.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think this is maybe his best performance so far in a Potter film.
So far, I think it is. Look at the shots from Scotland in that. How amazing is it?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I want to go to Scotland now.
The wides in this movie.
Beautiful.
So good. But I mean, every wide in most Harry Potter movies are really good.
Yes.
But it's the style that they went with this film.
Yeah.
It's darker.
Yeah, I found it got darker more towards the end, especially how would you say it? The cave scene?
Yeah, the cave scene.
It gets pretty dark in there, but I'm going to maybe drop an F-bomb, but it was beep. Awesome.
Yeah, it was a fantastic scene. But the actual like cinematography of it, it's almost black and white.
Yes.
It almost feels like there's constant vignetting around the screen.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think the tone of this film is important. I think it works with what they're going for. There's a lot of brown.
Yes.
A lot of browns in this film, I've noticed. And a little bit of green. But at the end of the day, this movie also has a great sound effects.
Yep.
The sound that drives underneath of the cinematography.
It's beautiful.
When they're running through grass, or every time they block a spell, bro, it's so good.
Yeah, it's it sort of expands upon the previous film, that last scene. Yeah, it just works so well together.
Yeah, they really pull back. There's even moments where they get rid of, yet again, they get rid of the music, similar to the ending of The Order of the Phoenix. Yeah. They get rid of music and they just allow the scene to play out in silence, and it works so well. It builds that tension for the film.
It's like I wouldn't say a play, but it's like you're there just experiencing that moment. That final last scene was just so beautifully done. It's, to me, that was like, I think that so far is probably the pinnacle of the whole series.
Yeah.
Just that piece alone was just amazing.
Yeah, the film deals with, by the end of it, without giving anything away, it leaves a hopeless feeling by the end of it. And the characters do have to go now on their own journey. And I think it leaves these characters in a place where they have never been before. They had suspicions of it in last films, but now they're ready to have to challenge it in their own way.
Yep. And it's a part of growing, I suppose. Yeah. Growth is, I think another major theme through this whole series.
Yeah, they're leaving the proverbial nest.
Yeah.
And
the comfort zone.
And they have to now go out on their own and face the world on their own and their own quests. I love this movie. I think I love it in a way where it's like I like it nearly as much as some of the others, but I think it sits firmly above some of the others as well.
Yeah, it's really, really tight, really hard to rate this one. Yeah. What are you giving it?
Well, I'm giving it an 8, but that's also because my score system is completely bleeped. So I will be fixing that in weeks to come by the last episode. But yes, I'm giving it an 8.
And I'm giving it a 7.5.
I think that's a reasonable one.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe the YouTube channel. Go and check out Spoil Radio podcast and give us a listen. This one was a long one for us. It was about an hour 50, but it was real deep. It was good.
Yeah.
And don't forget to go check out our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and go and like them at Neon Radio.
Yeah. Perfect. That's it from us. Lights out.